Hey everybody, Nathan here with SouthernIndianaMortgage.com, and I want to put together a short video to kind of lay out the differences between a local lender and a national lender. I know that we all see all the time different advertisements online for companies like Quicken and Lendingtree and different companies like that that put out huge marketing dollars to try to earn business from the area. And I wanted you to kind of have an idea of what to expect when you talk to a lender like that compared to what you do with a local lender. And when I talk about a local lender, I definitely mean our company, but also some of the other local loan officers that are in the area that do a great job as well. There's definitely a big difference between the local mindset and national. So just kind of want to lay those out for you and then just kind of, make sure that you understood what you were looking at and what kind of services that would be available, either way when you look at those things. So the first thing I wanted to mention was with a local loan officer compared to a national loan officer, you have that opportunity to meet face to face. Now, I understand that not everybody wants to do that. We're all busy. Not everybody has the time or the desire to do so, and that's perfectly fine. But you do have that opportunity to do that. So the face-to-face opportunity is good, and it's a great way to understand and get to know the person that you're working with and the company that you're working with when you're trying to buy that house that you've been dreaming of, or trying to possibly refinance the home that you have currently. So face-to-face is an option, obviously, that you would have with a local lender. In comparison with a national lender, you would not have that opportunity. Second, online options. So we always hear about Rocket Mortgage and all these fast track loan programs that are out there right now. Our company, for example, has the same options as the national lenders that they do. So you can do any kind of e-signatures online. You can do any kind of uploads if you want to upload your paperwork to our central processing system, just like they would offer you or have on their advertisements that they talk about. So online options are the same basically between a local lender and a national lender in most cases. So I wanted to kind of throw that out there. Also, when you think about a local loan officer compared to a national loan officer, one thing that's really important, I think, is that a local loan officer is familiar with the area. For example, if you're working with a lender that's in California, or if you're working with a lender that's in Northern Ohio, they may not understand your area like somebody local would. And so that's very important when you're thinking about dealing with title companies, when you're thinking about dealing with local real estate agents that you may be talking to. Somebody that has that familiarity with the area and the market and the people that make up the surrounding area and the business is very important. So a local loan officer would be familiar with the area, a national loan officer would not. From an interest rate standpoint, interest rates are basically the same, from company to company. So a local lender would have great interest rates, and also a national lender would have great rates as well. One thing to keep in mind with a national lender is they have a larger marketing budget, more expenses to pay for, and therefore it could cause their rates or closing costs to be higher than what you may find locally. So that's just something you would need to compare from company to company. When you're working with a local loan officer, you're not going to be talking to a call center. When you're talking to a national lender, you have that call center situation where you call in to speak to your loan officer, and it's very possible that you will not get the same person each time that you call. So if you like working with a customer service situation like you may do with a credit card or something like that, then that's fine. But just kind of know with the local lender, it just kind of works differently than what it would with a national lender in that situation. Oftentimes, once you go from department to department in the loan process, you have different people to talk to in that situation. And if you're comfortable with that, that's fine. I just wanted to kind of let you know what to expect in that situation as well. That goes right along with the next one here with one point of contact. If you're working with a local loan officer, you're going to have that one point of contact that you can contact at all times to ask any kind of questions that you may have, to get an update on your file. Whereas if you don't have a local point of contact or one point of contact, then when you call that customer service, you have to wait on them to give you basically an update from their system and that type thing. And then they would not necessarily be familiar with your loan and kind of have that personal connection with your process that a local lender would. But finally, one that's very important, and I think the most important out of all these, is the fact that a local lender is going to be accountable to you. And the lender also is going to be accountable to your real estate agent, to the seller, everybody along the line. And so that's very important when you think about buying a house. If you're working with somebody from on a national level that's located in a different state, that doesn't know your area, doesn't know your real estate agent, doesn't know you, then they're not really held accountable to you if something goes wrong. If you're working with somebody local, it's very important to loan officers to work from a referral standpoint. So, for example, we don't have a huge marketing budget that maybe Quicken or Lendingtree does. So local referrals are important to us, which means that keeps all loan or most loan officers accountable to kind of back up the promises that are made. For example, we do everything that we can to be sure that that our numbers are the same at the beginning of the process that they are at the end of the process. We don't like to have any surprises at the closing table. That's no fun for us. That's no fun for you. And that really takes a lot out of the process. But whenever you're working with a national lender, if something changes throughout the process, even though you've got your loan estimate and different things like that, your different disclosures, if something changes or if the loan gets turned down, there's not a lot of motivation there for a national lender to try to save that deal. They don't necessarily work from a referral standpoint from the agent that you're working with. They could care less if they got a referral from you later, because they're just going to go with the next person that calls into their call center and try to work on the next lead that comes in. So just some things to keep in mind. But I think that accountability is very important. I've heard a lot of different horror stories throughout the years that I've been in the business with people that have worked with national lenders. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good stories that have come out of that as well. But just like I say, if you want to kind of have that personal touch, if you want to understand where you are throughout the entire loan process, and if you want to have somebody that's accountable, then I would definitely recommend using a local lender, when you go to buy or refinance your next home. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can send me a message on Facebook, on YouTube, message me there. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. If you're thinking about buying a house, we'd love to help you. And we would be more than happy to give you a free quote and a free pre-qualification and pre-approval to let you know what you can qualify when you go to buy that next home. So thanks for watching the video. Hope everything is well, and we'll talk to you soon.